Okay guys, I'm going to do a wee Clydestyle fly here, a wee upstream wet fly in the traditional style. So this is called the blae and hares here. So thread, I'm going to use, this is a traditional Pearsall silk. This is a kind of light olivey colour. The hook and the vise is a Fulling Mill FM15 10, which is a short shank hook. You could also use like a Camasan B160 or whatever hook takes your fancy. So just the normal way, take your thread, tie it in there just at the back of the eye. Just where we're going to tie the wing in, we're going to tie the wing in first. Now, normally you would have two slips from a feather, such as the likes of from a mallard or a starling or a teal or something like that, the blae colour. But for this one, I'm going to actually fold the wing. So I've taken a feather already, and I'm going to create a wing from this one side of the feather. So I've opened up a web about 12-15 mil, and I'm just going to take that off. Now that gives me a wee pad of feather. Now what I'm going to do is fold it into three. Now the inside is a lighter colour, the outside is a darker colour. I'm going to fold it in itself, so the lighter colour's on the outside this time. So I'm going to split it into three, and I'm just simply going to fold and fold again. It's a wee bit fiddly, but you get there in the end and you create a wee wing. Okay, all your fibres in line. Now again, unlike most ways, I'm going to tie it over the eye. That lets me keep the waist here down the shank, which I can bind in as I'm tying up the body. So the wing length, again just about the body length of the hook. Take that forward, about there, and I'm going to pinch and loop those fibres in. Okay. Now again, with most fishing flies, once it starts getting bashed about, the wing all splits, falls apart with feather fibre. There's nothing really you can do about it. But for this, it's actually a benefit, because this wee fly is designed to represent like a drowned adult or a cripple, something that's never quite hatched and has got caught up in the surface, maybe been bumped in a run and get tumbled into the water, and the fish take these quite freely. Now we're going to put a wee tag in at the back here of gold tinsel. Now this is proper tinsel, actually metal. I just run it through my finger. It just cleans it up a wee bit, because sometimes it can tarnish a wee bit and break off a part for that. Okay, so a length of that, and tie it in as you go down the body. Now you can see how the roots of the feather get bound in, and it actually creates a wee slight taper. So I've taken the thread down to be halfway between the point of the hook and the barb. What I'm going to do now is create a wee tag. So 1, 2, 3 or 4 turns, just to create a wee gold tag. Tie that in. Cut away the waist. Now you could tie in a tail, maybe a couple of fibres or something, hackle fibres or coq de leon or something like that, but I don't bother. Now the next material is hares here. Now you've got two different lengths here. You've got a shorter fur here up near the top, and you've got a heavier fur here at the bottom. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to just pick out some of the shorter fibres at the top. So just pick them off with your finger, give them a wee mix. And what you're going to do is just put as little as possible onto the thread. Now I've used a kind of olive thread, but you could use like a primrose thread as well. So again, just dub a tiny wee amount onto the thread, as little as you can get away with, to create the body. And you're going to wind that back up the body, touching turns, until you get to just behind the wing. Now here, you can put the same sort of fur on, or you can put a wee bit of the longer fur on. This is what's going to create the legs. So a bit of longer fur there. You can see there's got a bit of longer staple on it there. And again, just dub it lightly onto your thread, very, very lightly, and put a turn behind the wing. Then I'm going to lift the wing, put a turn in front, maybe even two, or I'll put another turn behind the wing there, pull off the extra, and then bring my thread to the front, couple of turns, clear off the excess, keeping the thread tight all the time, tie off right behind the eye, 3 or 4 turns, pull it tight, cut away the thread. Now you can tidy up the back a wee bit, thin that down a wee bit, just by trimming it away, and then at the front get a bit of velcro and just, or your needle, and pick out a few of the legs. Now, as I say, this is not a dry fly, even though it's got an erect wing where it fishes right in the surface film. Okay guys, hope you enjoyed that.